I don't know, when I look at this relationship we have with China and we threaten them, it always reminds me of the Bugs Bunny episode. I dare you to step over that line, and I dare you to step over that line. Keep stepping over the line, keep stepping over the line. I'm the only one who got that Bugs Bunny analogy. I think it holds true here because we're now learning that the Chinese are continuing to hack us, sometimes in very clever ways, sometimes in rather silly ways, but they're still doing it. And they're upping the ante by going after key defense and intelligence concerns. So far from being chastened, they're revving up the octane. How bad is this? Back with Lori Rothman and Scott Martin and Lauren Simonetti. Scott, what the heck?
Well, this bugs me, Neil, and I'll tell you why. It's because China knows what we're up to. I mean, first of all, we all spy on each other. Companies here spy on companies over there. You know, things happen to where we steal secrets. But you know what? We've been doing this game with China for a long time where we've threatened them, say, with, like, our strong dollar policies. You know, back when we sent Paul O'Neill, Treasury Secretary, over there about 10 years ago, had no basis. You know, we said, don't buy our debt. We'll buy your debt. It was just basically a worst-case scenario for this type of situation where they don't believe in our threats, and I don't blame them.
They're laughing at us.
Then what do we do in response? I think they know or fear that we're always on defense. So we're not going to do anything to have them not buy our debt. But I think we ought to just go on offense and maybe just don't buy as much of their crap. So to put them in a vulnerable position. I understand. And believe me, I'm not being cavalier about it. I'm saying, but we don't follow up on our threats, even to the point where they could hurt us. We don't do it.
No, we don't, because we're worried about our political image around the world, and in a certain sense, absolutely, we are scaredy cats. But it bothers me that not only does China deny, they denounce our allegations, and that's why this report came to light, saying that they're upping the ante, they're coming against our company so much so, they're looking at our
what are you going to do?
Golf conferences and making things look like yoga brochures to get people to click and open things so they can put that malware in our computers.
I can safely tell you that
at us as a culture,
if someone sent me a yoga email, I guarantee I wouldn't open up the text.
Anyway.
So they wouldn't have to worry. But they're
getting with the times, though. You got to admit that at least they're getting creative.
Making fun of us.
Really?
Listen, it's concerning. I think we have a lot more to lose than China does. Obviously, they've had some economic problems, but they're still growing at a much more rapid pace than the U.S. economy.
You sound like you're beholden and you're scaredy cat.
But what do you do? I mean,
I just gave you an idea. You have to get tough.
How so?
Yeah,
we're going to stop buying your crap. We're going to stop buying your pet food that kills our animals. We're going to quit buying your discount drugs that's killing our
people. About the natural resources and all of that.
It's
that we're
time
dependent
to get tough.
No, you're being.
Oh, really? Okay.
Then we got to pay higher prices.
She's right.
We have to suck it up for a while to send a message. Are you ready to do that?
We need a stronger economy to pay higher prices.
You know, I'm part of the almost greatest generation. Take a cue. Take a cue.
You're right, Neil. I'm right.
I don't know. This brings us right to Paula Deen. You remember Paula Deen? Well, she is back. She's going on a country tour. She's opening up these Paula Deen stores. She was in East Tennessee yesterday with a cooking store. And, you know, crowds are showing up. So even though she lost the Food Network and Walmart and Target and Home Depot and all these others, with that whole dust up over the N-word a little more than a year ago, can she come back? Lauren, what do you think?
She is coming back. She lost all of those sponsors, but she has about $100 million in private equity funds right now. She's expanding.
Does she really?
Wow. Yes, between 75 and 100 million. She has this tour going on 20 cities, of course, in the South. But it was nearly a year ago. Americans forget. Look at Tiger. Look at Chris Brown. They did arguably far worse or equal transgressions as Paula did. She's coming back. She will come back.
What do you think?
Totally disagree. I'm done with Paula. And I love cooking. Don't get me wrong. But
yeah, but you don't use the butter, and you got it fried and olive oil and then fried again.
Put her in the same category as Don Sterling, formerly of the Clippers. Yeah, I mean, I wish she would just
Justin
bow
Bieber.
out.
We don't forgive racism.
Yeah, but Bieber can't cook.
Still.
Well, I think she's going to come back.
He looks better than Paula Deen does.
You know, I mean, Lauren, I think mentioned, you know, the southern cities, Nashville, Savannah, Atlanta, San Antonio, well, whatever. But the fact is, I think she can come back. I think she can come back. What do you think, Scott?
Neil, Lauren's right. People forget. I mean, she's absolutely right. People forget. And I think, unfortunately, because of guys like Donald Sterling, we get desensitized to this stuff. Yeah, it's a big deal for a few months or weeks, but then somebody else comes along and does the same thing, and everybody's like, oh, yeah, the guy that did that last month, who was that? Nobody remembers.
You think Don Sterling desensitized people? He will not go away quietly. He's now come back and threatened to sue yet again the NBA. I mean, it's absurd.
Well, but he has asinine behavior. She said something stupid and about almost any other measure.
And she treated her employees poorly, too. I think there are parallels
That's
between
the other thing.
Really?
Absolutely. The employer treatment was terrible.
Who makes a better souffle laden with fat?
I wouldn't eat either one of them.
Really? Okay. Well,
I'm on a diet.
I think she's learned her lesson.
So you would give her enough time to move on?
I forgive her.
Okay.
As a consumer, I forgive her.
Well, you know,
And
Martha
I think the
Stewart
public
came
will
back.
too.
That's different. As our colleague Charlie Gasparino might say, insider trading is a victimless crime.
Well, the
But
greatest
the
thing, too,
image of
Neil,
her
is
was that she was very self-righteous, very arrogant, very pushy.
Right, she perjured herself, right?
Well,
And very
my point
rich.
was she came back. And
Tiger Woods
But did she come? I mean,
Chris
Tiger Woods
Brown
came
hit
back.
a woman.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, he did go
Rihanna.
back to jail.
Rihanna went back with him.
Yeah.
for a little while, but he did some more jail time after that.
We
recently.
forgive.
We did.
I forgive you, Neil, for everything you've done.
And he still sells records, and he still can make money. Paula Deen hopefully went broke and now is trying to come back. I mean, come on. It hurts
Absolutely.
them most when it hurts their pocketbook, not their emotions.
And look at Rihanna in that dress. Really? I mean, I digress. Guys, thank you very, very much. In the meantime.